Welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles Weekly Pick'em Thanksgiving Day edition. We are here with you guys, and I got my boy D Jones on the right, and we
What up?
got
What
the
up?
Dark Vader, big sexy coach entanglement in the bottom, in the dark. Ooh, it's after dark. Who knows what
Mm.
we're up to?
Weekly pick 'em after dark.
Oh, weekly pick 'em after dark. Okay, set the tone. Set the tone, coach. Set the tone. Set the tone.
It's cold out here. I had to come outside because it was loud in the mug in my family's house.
Is that where you at? Your family's house?
I'm at my aunt's house.
Sure. You know,
You up
that's what people
in
do
Nebraska,
during
huh?
Thanksgiving when they go see other people. They step outside to call the other person.
Whatever.
They had something to do so that they don't know what's going on inside. And they blame everybody old for being loud and they had to go outside. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
said,
He
he
said,
said,
yeah.
yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
real talk. It's nothing but family in there. They just talking. We ain't seen each other in like 10 years. So hey, it is
What
what
that
it
temp
is.
like? What that temp like up there?
So what?
What's the temp like up there?
Right now it's like 40 degrees right now.
I ain't know.
Oh, you ain't even.
It was
had
20.
no
It was
sunshine.
20. It was not. It was 19 when I landed Friday night, and then on Sunday, on what you call it, on when I went to the game Saturday, it was 21. To the Nebraska game Saturday is 21, and it was 48 yesterday. So it's been in the 40s. So I'm getting the good side of the weather.
Cool.
You forgot to get the good side of that light.
I know. I'm trying to, but no.
Well, you can't. So let me give you a hint.
Don't put the light behind
The
you.
light should never be behind you because it
It's
actually
in front of me.
makes
See,
it dark.
what's up, cousin? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. You gonna do cousin shout outs off screen?
Oh no, my cousin just pulled up. That's what I'm saying. I ain't seen this boy in 10 years. So
Okay, well, do you need to go see your cousins and catch up?
no, I'm good. I'm good for now. I'm good. I'm ready to go ahead and do these picks real quick and tell you my top 3 wide receivers.
Okay, well, D Jones, run them, get them out the ways while Brandon.
Oh, I don't even know. I didn't even do
Don't
my
worry
picks.
about it.
Don't worry about it.
You gonna pick who we pick.
I'm picking with Derek picking this year, this week.
Oh,
You trying?
okay.
On to get them out the way.
Yeah, I got you. All right,
That's
so to get him out the
everything.
way. Well, he in his hole on the app, so it really don't matter.
Oh, okay. But he
So,
been in a hole since he got here. So okay.
Yeah, he's stuck.
Hey,
All right,
whatever.
so let's get these out the way. So we all picked Tampa Bay over Cleveland, Tennessee over Cincinnati, Miami to beat Houston, the Jets to beat Chicago, Washington to beat Atlanta, Carolina over Denver, Baltimore over Jacksonville, the Chargers to beat Arizona, Seattle to beat Vegas, Kansas City to beat the Rams, the 49ers to beat the Saints, Philly to beat Green Bay. Yes, I picked Philly as well to beat Green Bay. And this one we differ. Gransberry picks Indy over Pittsburgh. I'm going Pittsburgh over Indy. So since Coach said he ride with me, I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm going with Pittsburgh over Indy.
Yeah. So I just
I'm
want
gonna
to pick
go
Pittsburgh as a
over
coach.
Indy. We talked about it afterwards.
But you didn't say you were switching. So all right, we all pick Pittsburgh over Indy. There you go. So we all on the same page on the rest of the game. So let's talk about Turkey Day. That's what matters.
Yeah, so some interesting news came out today. I picked up my news courtesy of ESPN, but of course, Arizona had to fire one of their line coaches for his own entanglement in Mexico City. And I'm assuming that, and so I started with assuming that in order to maintain proper relationships with the NFL and things like that, Mexico City made it a point to deal with this with them, meaning notifying all the proper people that needed to be notified. Because if they let him fly home, they must have figured out how they were going to resolve it. because I don't see you extraditing him back to Mexico for the assault. So I'm assuming that they figured out how to get it under wraps, not wraps like hiding it, but how to get a resolution. And
Or made some type of agreement, huh? There has
yeah,
to be something in place. Yeah.
I really feel bad for, of course, the lady. Like I'm sure it had to be unsettling to have to even bring it to light. And I'm also glad at the swift action by Arizona that they didn't turn this into something that just needed, like, a pat on the hand. Um, you know, they handled it. To me, that's the way you handle it. You fire them and you send them home right away. Like, we want you out of here. Get away from us. We want to separate ourselves immediately from you. So evidently it didn't take much of an investigation. Or when I say much of an investigation, it wasn't hard to prove. So
Right.
So
Well, that don't necessarily mean that. It means they don't even want that around them, right? I mean, you don't even want the pub. You don't want nothing to deal with. You don't want like nothing with it. I ain't gonna say he's guilty or anything, but till he go through his process. But he's at least guilty of putting them in a bad situation, right? Putting himself in a situation that doesn't shine light on the team. So either way, commend it.
And so, like I said, since we're only talking about the Thanksgiving games tonight, because we want to leave room to talk about our top 3 wide receivers active right now, I want to also note that Justin Fields is injured. Davis Mills has been benched. And I say that with a slight smile. Well, look, it's mixed feelings because we want him not really under center, but we don't want him not commander. We don't want him not under center to the point where he affects our draft position. So, correct. But we need to put some butts back in the seats because people always forget season tickets are paid for before the season starts. So that revenue's made. Your projection of revenue is based off your concession stands. And you can't have concession stands high revenue if butts not in the seats. As people have already wrote off what they paid for the season tickets. So in order to get them to show up and buy $9 and $10 beer, you got to put something on the field that gets them going. So that's my quarterback talk. And then, of course, Donald's going to start again this week. And then the Jets have also switched quarterbacks. So this was like the most quarterback carousel we've had in a while. So I'm pretty.
That wasn't injuries.
Correct.
besides Fields, but yeah.
Correct. So, and also shout out to the Jets organization because it takes a lot to stand before the media, regardless of talking to the media, right? But stand before the media and admit, there's a disconnect going on between the players and the quarterback and the team, period. And we allude things, right? As fans, us specifically, we've dealt with this in Houston. We've seen tough spots when our team was losing consecutively, and we saw little odds on the sidelines with players we normally don't see as tension. But they would always give this even keel press conference, like we just want to win and we're going to get through it, and that. Accountability is always important in whatever job you have. And I feel like everybody was taking accountability this weekend, but Wilson. And so I really appreciate the fact that they took the time to say, there's a disconnect. And in order to get it back on the right path, even if they forgive them and they go back to him in a week, we're going to let you know what you did is unacceptable. And that's not how we're going to run this team. So, but we've always said that we thought he was a good coach and a good fit at head coach. He was a great pick. So I think he took the right approach with it, even if he goes back to him. You sit down and cool off and you start thinking about some things because, an interesting point too that was brought up by ESPN is that this was kind of the nature of why people didn't want to draft him. It was kind of like a little lackadaisical arrogance about him, like whatever, and you kind of very good word, but whatever. Shout out to Curtis. Only halfway because he in a dysfunctional fan base. But he said, "Are y'all good with benching Mills?" Like we said, it's a seesaw effect. He doesn't need to be on the field, but we don't need to ruin our draft position by trying to win out the rest of the season. I'm just gonna
We
say that.
need our tank commander on the field. The
We
tank
do.
commander needs to be on the field. However, it's brutally trash. The only game I want to see them win for the rest of the year is the Cleveland Browns game. But hey, it is what it is.
I got mixed feelings about that, but
Me too.
I'm not gonna
Oh
say that.
no, because it kills two birds with one stone. You beat Cleveland, you get a better draft pick from Cleveland.
We got
we got a little bit more room.
I feel where you're going with it. I feel where you're going with it, but yeah.
First of all, Waylon said put Trill Burgers in the concession stands. First of all, Trill Burgers is at the games. It's out in the food court, the truck, and it does well. So, but you wouldn't know that because you in Dallas, and y'all don't do food trucks because Jared keep all the money for himself. But at the same time, don't worry about if we're gonna have the first pick. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Put that, okay? Okay.
Worry about Jared Jones in that photo.
Relax.
Let me chill out. Let me chill out and let us
relax,
move.
man. Relax. Don't get on the
Look,
Cowboys.
I'm in such a good mood. Y'all see, I got the reindeer on. Because I've already moved into Christmas because we know after tomorrow everybody putting up their Christmas stuff anyway. And my family is personally not a real big Thanksgiving gatherer, so I've already moved on to Christmas. So
better than them footballs.
Well, you know, I'm available to be.
No, go back.
So let's get to the
Why
first
did
game.
you do that, Coach?
First game up. First game up is Minnesota versus the Pats. So anywho, oh yeah, you're gonna let me relax and get to the picks. Don't worry about it, baby. Them picks coming. We only talking about Thursday night games, and the first one, Minnesota versus Belichick. And I'm right now I'm still gonna lean with, I think Belichick. Usually I don't bet against Belichick, but I think the Vikings are angry to fix their performance from last week. Kirk Cousins might want to get his chains back from Debo Parsons. And so in that, they're going to put out a better performance against the Pats. And I think it'll be enough to win. Coach?
I'm going Belichick 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
This one, I'm going with this one. They're playing in New England or they're playing in Minnesota?
No, they're playing in Minnesota.
Still picking Belichick on this one. I think I just think they're going to pounce on the fact that Dallas basically just demolished Minnesota, and they have to go back and still try to pick up the pieces. But I'm gonna go with Belichick on this one because Belichick his defense is going to be all right, even though Mac Jones didn't score.
I mean, because there was an excellent performance by
It's
Dallas.
Excellent performance. No. I'm not saying Dallas's performance. I'm not saying
you say he gonna be all right.
I'm saying I'm saying the Patriots are going to be all right defensively.
I know that
against Minnesota.
I'm
going with Belichick on this week because I think Minnesota is not going to be able to recover fully just yet.
And
it's Thursday night.
I'm saying it don't. I'm saying it's not. It no. I'm saying no.
That's his pick.
No.
It's my pick.
No.
I'm going with the Patriots. I'm going with the coach.
I'm just mad at you.
I'm going with the coach
over
the Vikings.
No, you can't hear me because you keep talking, and I'm talking.
I hear you.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
You hear me?
Look, my only issue is you're not even like. Usually, you give me like something to work with, right? If you go against us, you say you taking chances, but you try to just give me an analysis about they're gonna be all right. Dallas's performance.
I said the Patriots were going to be all right.
He cut me off on the same sentence and never letting me finish. I heard you.
Hold on. Let me navigate. You got to let him finish that statement. He said they're going to be all right defensively, but what they're going to do? What else?
But I just don't think Minnesota is going to be fully
He
recovered
said the same thing
from
3
the
times.
Dallas demolition. That's what I was trying to say.
But he's saying they're going to be mentally off. He's okay.
Yes.
I heard him say that. I didn't need to hear that again. I heard him say it twice.
Yeah, but y'all was talking on top of each other. Go ahead. Now, what you say? Okay. I'll be the host. I'll be Molly for today.
Well, okay, Mike. But whatever. I'm just saying, my only point is he's saying recover, but he's not telling me who gonna even be able to play defense near that level. Like, that was an exceptional defensive performance. And that's why I'm not telling him to change his pick. I got you. The analysis is not, it's not strong. I think I would have been better if you would have just said.
But are we going to discount the Patriots' defensive performance against the Jets as well? I'm not saying Dallas's defensive performance wasn't top tier.
It's the Jets.
I'm just saying
it's the Jets.
We've been clowning Kirk Cousins since then. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that.
No, no. We joke about the plane with the shirt off, but I'm not joking about.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, I think Belichick is going to have a great game plan against Justin Jefferson, who, by the way, is the best wide receiver in the NFL right now, and he's going to. I just think the Patriots are going to capitalize on it. That's all I'm saying.
You broke up a little bit. So here's my thing. I get what Coach getting at. I disagree with him because when we called the games last week, we picked Belichick over the Jets because we felt like it was going to be two defenses going against each other. Both offenses were trash. Minnesota offense is not trash. So even though New England's defense, which defense typically travels, their defense will travel, they are not what Dallas were last week. And don't get me wrong. Dallas played out of their mind because Parsons was a beast, but they played out of their mind. We always say Kirk Cousins is up and down. He had us down last week. I look for them to bounce back at home. If this game was in New England, I might lean your way maybe a little bit because they play differently like that on the road. But at home, after being embarrassed at home, I see them. I don't think they're going to be shell-shocked. You thinking because they're going to be shell-shocked on top of a good defense that they're not going to recover, you're not going to see that performance out of that offense this week. I just don't see that.
It's not
and I don't see how in the world New England can produce enough offense. Remember, they scored 3 points last week and won the game on a punt return. So if you think that's going to happen, bro, I got some land to sell.
So you get I'm okay. But Brandon, it's not. I think the point is you kept trying to redefend me with the same point, and all I was gonna say is I was surprised because your points are usually stronger when you pick the other way. And I'm saying those just don't stack up. It don't matter. You picked them. I'm not telling you to change your pick. I don't even want you to change your pick. I was just saying I usually get more out of you. If you had just told me it was an emotional pick like Derek has done, or it was your taking chances, I wouldn't even have this discussion.
Nah, he's standing on it. He's standing on it.
He's standing on it, but to the point where I couldn't even finish what I was trying to say because he wanted to repeat the same statement. So I was a little irritated. I was, because I felt like I was trying to talk and you kept trying to replay your comments to me and I ain't want to hear it no more. So that's my point. Nah, I'm gonna relax because it's Turkey Day, but goddamn.
Yeah. Put the Rudolphs back on. That had you in a better mood.
I done lost my mood and I don't even want to pick no more. Buffalo versus Detroit, Derek.
Buffalo, Detroit. Oh, I'm rocking Buffalo. Buffalo got a warm up in their stadium last week. You know how I feel about Buffalo. They got off to a slow start last week, but then they got things going. Detroit is Detroit. I think I don't even think this one's gonna be close. I say Buffalo by a landslide. I think they're gonna score the most points this week.
Buffalo.
What'd you say, Coach?
Buff-
She said Buffalo. She
Buffalo,
right.
Buffalo by 2 touchdowns. Buffalo
By
by
2
2 touchdowns.
touchdowns. All right.
All right. Yeah, shout out to Dwaylen. Yeah, Buffalo gonna make their mini home in Detroit again. So
Did they go home or did they stay? Did they stay in
they
Detroit?
flew home. So you know what? Shout out to whoever's running the Buffalo Bills Instagram page.
Oh,
Because
it's dope.
I have been enjoying myself
It's dope.
all week with their content. So basically, they put up a little diagram that showed them flying home, but since they played Cleveland, they flew home down to Cleveland and then rode and then rode up north. It was so cool, like how they did it on the map.
That's crazy.
So just shout out to the creativity. And if you get some time and you have Instagram, just check out they post over this past week showing how the head coach picked up Von Miller from the crib to get him to the game. Just the comedy of it and the spirit of like, staying focused through that. And I know everybody thinks like, okay, well, why didn't they just go to Detroit early? They kept forgetting Detroit has a team too that's there. So you still need practice facilities and infrastructure for a whole
high
week.
school. Go to college or something.
Well, it's gonna be outdoors. It's a lot to coordinate. It's just a lot to coordinate. It was just a lot to coordinate quickly. You see how they, and if you, like I said, if you go to their Instagram, you'll see what all they was going through just to get the players to the stadium for their flights. Like they got phone calls that players were literally walking down the street in the snow. So just like I said, some good energy over there on their page. And obviously we're gonna get to Dallas versus the Giants. So obviously there's not much to say. There was definitely a good game planned by Dallas last week. They definitely did what they needed to do on the road. It is what it is. They did everything they need to do, from running to offense to everything clicked to field goal. Everything clicked.
Playmaker call it a perfect game, right?
And those aren't duplicated. So, not in succession, not saying it's never duplicated again, but, not in succession. And one other thing, I have to insert the whole OBJ thing here because, supposedly these are his top two pursuers. And I don't think it's going to even be close after tomorrow because you have the guard out and I think the guard, a tackle, and the center out tomorrow for the Giants. Okay. Jones got a little scramble in him. But that's so Curtis is agreeing with me. Yeah. So essentially, the Giants O-line will be missing tomorrow. So Parsons should be having him a small mini field day. And I'm definitely picking Dallas. One, for being at home. I know it's a division game, but when you don't have an O-line and you got somebody like Parsons staring you down on the other side, it's going to get a little exhausting. And you're not going to be able to lean too heavy on the run game because at some point you're going to have to take a break. Like you're not going to wear down Dallas line with Barkley. Like I just don't see it. Not to that extent, right? To the point where you're going to win the game. Also, I think that either puts Dallas in the driver's seat to take OBJ. And if they don't, it'll be maybe because of their cockiness of like, well, we don't need him. I say if you can get him, get him. Because when you start playing more competitive teams, and even if you in the position to be in February, let's give you that position. All the teams in the AFC the top teams got a 1 and a 2. So you want to be competitive. You don't want to go just with your top defense. We've seen top defenses get to the Super Bowl, and we've seen exceptional defenses win. But I still think you need to open it up a little bit. So it just depends if they want to do it. I would say if I was OBJ, I would go to Dallas over back to New York. That would be me. Indoors, halfway closer to your baby and your girl. If they come, Dallas is more of a destination place than New York because he's lived there. He's done that. He knows what that's like. So unless it's familiarity and he just want to be back there, I see him picking Dallas. So Dwaylen says go get him because his wide receiver group is trash. You know, Dwaylen, we don't like the word
That's
trash
not,
on this show
that's
because
not
you have to
trash.
actually use your words. You have to use your words and define what you mean when you
Not
say.
Not
trash.
good. Not
So,
good. Disgusting.
but but
Garbage.
CD
but I want
Lamb,
to just
CD
slide
Lamb
in.
is
I just
CD
want to
Lamb
slide in.
elevates it from trash by itself. But hey,
So, Coach, who you picking?
I'm going with Dallas Cowboys in this one. I think this is going to be a boring game because Dallas is going to be able to uh, show their will. And I think they're starting to feel that they can actually compete against some of the better teams. And like you said, the O line is basically hurt. So Parsons is going to have a field day, and Daniel Jones cannot sit around here and run for his life the whole day. So I'm going
yeah.
Dallas Cowboys 2 in a row.
You say it's going to be a boring game? I don't think it's going to be
It's
boring
going to be
just
a good.
because it's a division game. A division game is
No, no. What I mean by boring is that I just think they're just going to be able to dominate. So I don't know if
so. I agree. Cowboys win this game. Um, the Giants are. I mean, I believe the Giants are a well coached team
yes they
this
are.
year. And for some of the same reasons that you picked the Pats, I think the Giants will make this a non-boring game and make this a close game. The injuries is the key right there, right? To where this be, I think
Right,
even if they was at full health, I think the Cowboys have the better team. Cowboys win this game.
right.
Um, and like all of the Cowboy fans in the comments are saying about a balanced offense, they do have to have a balanced offense and minimize turnovers. Parsons is going to eat, like y'all said, all of those things are true. They play well on Turkey Day. So Cowboys win this game because they're the better team. Simple as that. I mean, y'all call whoever you want trash, call whatever. And OBJ, I think money's the same. It's an easy choice. You go to Dallas. You don't go back to the Giants, especially because of the way he left the Giants and how that situation was. Money's the same. The Giants, the only way I see the Giants getting OBJ is if they overpay him and offer him something astronomical that the Cowboys just
Can't
can't do.
match.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
just can't do. So that's the only reason why this is a come on. It doesn't take rocket science to see it's just a bidding war. If these the only two, if these are the two that he's choosing from, it's just a bidding war at this point. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
here
some
we go.
others have made preliminary interest, but they already knew that they would be out of
Contention. So
contention.
it's yeah,
Mhm.
it's pretty simple. But
Both
yeah,
both
I say
teams
the
both
Cowboys too.
teams both teams need him, but I say Dallas. He's gonna. I say pick Dallas.
It's the last
Uh,
10. They typically play well.
Well, it depends on how you
That's
say
fair.
play well, Curtis. You might have lost. We got the Dallas fans saying that they're 3-7 on Thanksgiving. You might have lost, but that don't mean you wasn't playing well. It just means the other team was playing better. I
Yeah.
mean, I think 1 year, well, 2 years, right? Dak was hurt, so you was on a
Yeah.
backup quarterback.
yeah.
So that's already 2 years right there. So I don't judge it that way, honestly. And I think I've watched at least 8 of the last 10. Think though I know for sure I didn't watch but that was longer than 10 now. Well, that was right at 10 when I went to Detroit. I obviously didn't watch it because I was at a game. But other than that, I think it's been pretty. I think what 1 year I think the Raiders blew them out. Um, that was just
Yeah.
weird thing. So I'm gonna say Todd is in here. He trying to hang in here. He a Giants fan. And at this point, I really do mean he trying to hang in there. Um, but it's not looking like how it was looking the first time y'all played and you was telling us about your Giants. And things have changed. Absent injury, you guys have been winning, but it just hasn't been remarkable winning. It's just been winning. And that's great. So I'm not downsiding that. I'm
A
saying
dub is a dub.
tomorrow's game. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying overall for your record, it's great. But I'm
I'm
saying
with
when
you.
I'm trying to see the two teams for tomorrow, it definitely won't be there. Oh yeah, shout out. Thank you, Gonzalez. Here's shouting out my nephew's team, DeSoto. They playing town ball in Pflugerville on Friday at 4 o'clock. I'm wearing my DeSoto shirt. So I'm in DeSoto mode already. So I'll be traveling on Friday to go cheer them on for round 3. Thanks for that, Mr. Gonzalez. I appreciate it. And for those of you who didn't know, that's where Von Miller from, DeSoto. Anyway, we talked last week a little bit. We were having a good time in the comments with our awesome viewers about the best receivers. So look, we said we want to hear about your top 3 and discuss it. Now, my 3 are not in any particular order. It's just my 3. And my 3 are Hill, Diggs, and Jefferson. That's my 3. And remember, we picking 3 that are active right now and playing. That's what it's on. And it's wide receiver. This year. Not on tight ends, not who had a good game, not best catch. Who we think the top 3 receivers are. So those are my 3. So let's get the 3 out the way first, and then we can get into discussion. So, Coach.
You stole my thunder. Hill, Jefferson, and Diggs. And I'll put them in order: Jefferson, Diggs, and Hill. I think Hill
Is that up or down?
has changed.
That's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Jefferson, Diggs, Hill. I'm gonna go Hill because he's changed the complete culture on the wide receiver core for Miami. And he wasn't too shabby in Kansas City, but we're talking about this year, so he's doing good. Diggs is actually showing out. He would be number 1 if Jefferson had stepped up. And Jefferson, he's doing more than just that great catch. He's putting his team in positions to find him and being able to be available to catch the football for big yardage. That's my Adams. I like the Adams pick that Dwaylen has on there.
So can you do me a favor?
I do my.
Can you let Derek give me his 3? Because I said we was going to discuss our 3 after we all gave our 3.
Nah, he cool. Because it's
They ain't
cool.
Gonna do nothing. Pick the same 3.
That's why I'm like, it's cool. It's I got the same 3.
I just wanted to make sure because I didn't expect Dwaylen to say Adams.
Well, Dwaylen didn't follow directions, man. We say 3. So if you
have no tie.
or Diggs, ain't no ties here.
Well, yeah. So before you pick the start in, Derek, then yeah. So Brandon, go ahead and tell us about your 3rd one because you did the first 2. So yeah, go ahead.
My 3rd one was I said Hill. I went Hill. I went upwards. I went Hill, Diggs, and then I went.
He talked about all 3.
Jefferson.
Oh, I thought he still had something else to say. Okay.
No, he talked about all 3.
All right, so we're gonna hit up a few of the viewers and tell you what they saying in the comments. We obviously already talked about Dwaylen. He said Hill, Adams. Dwaylen, you need to chime back in. You're gonna have to pick Diggs or Jefferson. You can't have both. So you let us know who you want as 3. But his 1 and 2 is Hill and Adams. And then we got Todd. He's saying Jefferson, Chase, and Hill. And then Gonzalez is saying Lamb, Hill, and
that's an emotional pick. I think Lamb is
an emotional pick. I think he's still on that great catch from last week. And then Waddle.
Emotional pick.
And it's funny you picked Waddle though, Gonzalez, because I remember you keeping up with us about him when we were talking about Miami and saying
he was on Waddle.
He was all Waddle. So I see you still sticking with your guys. You loyal there,
man. And Gonzalez dropped the Lamb. Lamb might drop that pass.
Don't do that. Let him have it. So now Curtis,
that's his pick.
That's his pick, like you say.
Yes, I agree. All right. I digress. My bad. I took the L on that one.
Curtis picked Hill, Diggs, and Jefferson. And then Vanessa, shout out to Vanessa. So that's my first cousin. So we family. Anyway, Vanessa, she picked Lamb, Hill, and Adams. Vanessa, am I gonna see you at the game this week, Friday? Let me know. All right. So she got Lamb, Hill, and Adams.
All right, so here's the Wayland updated.
He said he taking Diggs off and he gonna go with Adams. So he's saying Hill, Jefferson, and Adams.
And Adams.
Okay.
Adams is actually leading the league in touchdowns at 10.
Yes.
Just throw that one out there.
And he was left
receivers.
So I was gonna bring that up after we get everybody's picks.
Gotcha.
So and last we have Damon, Gentry picked Jefferson, Diggs, and Cooper Kupp. I have to say his whole name because then he has two last names for a first name. Usually people have two first names. He got two last names. So I had to get that one. Yeah. Okay. So what we can say is, except for Gonzalez, everybody had Jefferson and Hill, except for Gonzalez and Gentry. And so
Vanessa had Hill, but she didn't have Jefferson.
Okay. So maybe everybody had Hill except Gentry. Everybody had Hill.
I think so, yeah.
So I think we don't really have to talk about Hill because Hill is Hill. I mean, Hill's been what we said he was even when he was going to Miami. We was like, it ain't gonna be no fall off. He wasn't being made by Mahomes. They benefited from each other.
He's making two of them.
And he's leading the receivers in yards at 1148 on 81 receptions. So I think he might be leading in receptions and yards.
Yeah, he is. And so Adams is leading in touchdowns, and I think a lot of that may have come in garbage time as well, but it's a touchdown and it's in his stats. And if he was getting a check for it, he gonna get the check.
If the clock was running, it ain't garbage.
Well, but you know how they used to do us on that with them stats.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Here's my reason why I'm not really I left Coop out of consideration. I'm knowing that he is in the top, Cooper Kupp. And I forgot I got to say it that way because there is a Cooper. So we definitely only talking about Cooper Kupp. Well, he's hurt. So it kind of, I'm just saying it changed the consideration.
Well, he only recently got hurt, but up to this point, he hasn't been having the year that he was having before.
Correct.
And again, that's why we stipulated this year's performance.
Correct.
Even up until this point, he's been a top receiver, but I wouldn't put him in my top three, even if he wasn't hurt today. Up until this point, he has. But Stafford hasn't played that well either. But no excuses for him. Yeah. He just hasn't played well.
Well,
he's played good. He's played good, not as good as these three. I mean, not well. I'm sorry.
So I want to kind of hear more about the people that are picking Adams, and one of them is DeWaylen, and he's saying that he won an OT last week, the game winner. And I mean, receivers and tight ends usually do have the game winners. I mean, you're trying to score. My only thing with that is I just feel like the way the Raiders offense is set up, he's obviously going to be the target. And so
sick route.
It was. He's sick.
Yeah, he's a beast.
But I think unfortunately for me, because I know what his other years look like, he just ranks a little lower. I think he's right there. Like he was my 4, right? And part of my separation in that was the fact that if I had Adams, I would just throw the ball to him every time too. So
every single time.
Well, yeah.
And if D Hop would have played outside of the 6 games, he would be up there around the 3, 4-ish, 5-ish.
Agreed.
That performance he put on last night,
he's still hot.
In Mexico.
That's in my notes.
But I mean,
that's what I got that in my notes.
I mean,
D Hop still hot.
D Hop is still hot. So that's what I'm saying. It's a good collection of wide receivers, but this is a great topic actually for that. With the fact that we had it's a good actual collection of wide receivers that are putting on decent to amazing performances with or without their quarterback. I mean, you out there with Colt McCoy. Who knew Colt McCoy was still in the in the league, but D Hop still was able to get open with 2 people on him.
Standard.
Jefferson did it. Jefferson is doing that this year, getting double teamed, and Diggs is
Well,
Diggs.
but wait,
Consistent.
I want to go back to something because I'm still on this Adams, and so here's a question for Dwaylen with Adams and anybody else with Adams. Okay, when you look at Hill, Adams, who was my other one? Oh,
Jefferson.
Diggs. No. Diggs.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
I'm making
Diggs.
a different point.
Okay.
These are guys who have now played on more than one team. And we could throw in Hop for that. We have enough to throw in Hop. And they've consistently proved they can perform at that level. And so when you do that, that alone kind of makes you start to rank. And that for me is what pushes Adams down. We know Hop came from only having one good quarterback ever, right? So we didn't see a fall off. So you do have to look at it for everything. So Adams, I just think gets used differently. So I think he gonna always outnumber in the touchdowns, right?
Well, I think it's. I mean, it's a fair point you're making. I think what we also can look at is even when Adams was in Green Bay as a Green Bay guy, I don't think he ever really got just due as being a top 3 receiver. You know what I mean? Even with what his production there, he is definitely all these guys. First, all these guys are top receivers. Let's just get that out the way. So we talking, real, minor things here, and everybody's eyeballs and eye tests being different. So I don't think there's no wrong answer. I think Adams is just not having the year that these other guys are having collectively with the impact that they're having with their team. Damon brought up AJ Brown. That's a good name. That's not on a lot of our lists. That's impacting his team in a significant way. Somebody I had in my notes that I didn't put on that didn't make my top 3 was Debo. And it's because he spent so many weeks hurt. But with the impact that he brings to that team as a receiver, running back / type guy is like, dude, these guys are so valuable to their team that I love the discussion. I love the list. I love seeing the differences and everybody, and what they put on there. So I can't argue with any name that's on there. Even CD.
But Gonzalez, I kind of will put to rest that there were a few people in the comments having fun with that. And at this point, so this is something everybody, you can fact check it and you can look it up. The entire league, I'll say it again, the entire league is tested for steroids. So 1 pop for steroids in all the years he's tested, not going to change the status of what he's capable of doing. They're all tested and the test results are known. The amount and trace that was what he was tested positive for, you only got 1 or 2 ways to look at it. It was so minor that it's believable what he said happened. Or you trying to say at some point he had to wing off of it to even get that low to get that test result. Either way, he not playing at that level on steroids. And here's the other thing. Once you test positive, you automatically are in the testing protocol. So he's automatically being tested. So he's not playing popped. So people can let it go. Because if he's positive, he wouldn't play next week. They're literally tested.
I see that different too for a receiver. I mean, it's like
it is different than with a D lineman or
or linebacker or somebody that's getting straight, getting
lineman,
he's whatever he took, whatever supplement was in, whatever.
And look,
it don't do nothing to them hands.
Nothing to them hands. Nothing to those hands.
All he's
Because
doing
he's
is
never
running
really running
around.
away from people. He's
Well,
always contested by
and
one or
that's what I
two
was about to
people.
say. He was never a heel. He was never a speed guy. He's not a speed guy. He is a
No.
hands guy. And when you listen to every quarterback that came through Houston, when they used D-Hop, they always said, we just
Putting
threw it up
area.
there for him to
Putting
get it.
area. Yeah.
Because it was never about separation. He don't even count on separation. He count on his hands. So that's whack.
So, mhm.
It's whack. And
And
so
it has,
in case people didn't know
and
that,
that's
that just go
that's
ahead
the
and just
crazy.
end this whole discussion about steroids because they keep testing you. So the joke is on them using that. And every player, it's not a lottery pick for that. Every player is tested for that every year. So miss me. He failed one test in forever test. So I was interested to see Todd pick Chase, because Chase had such an amazing year last year. And I think it goes back to that peak. I just didn't really have Chase up there when I'm thinking about consistently who's going to give me what I need and show up every game. And to the point where when they don't, I just think they had a bad game. I think there's a lot of moving parts going on with Chase right now. Is he a top 10 receiver? Absolutely. But if I got to narrow my three, I'm going to keep my three. And I'm okay with everybody, like I said, who picked Adams. I literally probably just bumped him, probably more so on the collective of him and Hill both went to new teams this year, and there's a significant difference. And
But the
Todd
thing
switched
is,
that pick up too.
huh?
Todd switched that pick up. He
Oh, he
switched
did?
Chase. He switched Brown for Chase. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The thing that Chase would be in this top 3 conversation if it was last year. This year he's hurt. He got hurt early, and the Bengals are starting to try to figure out uh, their offensive identity for this year right now while he's out. So he's for sure top 10 with that. But we're talking about this year. Those the 3, 4, 5 that we're talking about have been the ones that have been solid all year long.
Yeah, he's a product. He's a product of his team inefficiencies right now.
And,
Absolutely.
and so and the top touchdown guy right now would be Adams, and
Right.
for receivers, but the top
For receivers.
touchdown guy is Kelsey.
Let's not go there. That's
I think they both. I thought they both had 10.
Kelsey got 11.
Okay, that game winner probably put him up. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I still had it up.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the dude gets open, gets double. It's amazing. But
You're right. You're right.
This is go another stratosphere. Tight ends next week.
No, that list is short.
No, because it's not enough tight ends to really even have a debate. All you gotta do is say Kelsey. Like what we talking about?
Yeah, that list is real short.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting thing that I did not see from anyone. What about nobody mentioning Mike Evans?
Not this year.
Nah, not top 3. Not top 3.
Okay.
Not top 3.
I mean, we got Gonzalez putting CD Lamb in.
At least CD Lamb is clearly the number 1 on his team. And don't get me wrong, I'm an Evans guy, but they're a collective between him, Goodwin, and now Julio starting to come up. Perform for them a little bit, but not top 3.
I mean, I wasn't gonna pick him anyway. I just was,
I'm with Evans. Well, he Galveston ball, but not top 3.
So I think next week we should do top 3 corners because
that's not bad.
I think that's gonna be a good one.
I gotta research that one. That's cold right there. This year, top 3 corners.
Top 3 this year. We only stand on active players. So look, guys,
it might be a rookie in my number on there. It might be a rookie in my number.
Look, what we need you to do, your top 3 corners, and what we not doing
this year
is anybody who inactive. So get your list together with the
well, let's clear it up. Not necessarily inactive for the week, but just this year. This year's performance.
Correct.
because we ain't talk. If they get hurt, they get hurt, but they can still get hurt this week in the first 11 games. They were outstanding. So let's just say this year's performance. Don't try to bring up Revis and we ain't talking about goats, but this year's performance. That's tough, T.
Yeah, so
That's gonna be a good one.
I want to do that.
I got to do some research.
Yeah, let's do that. I really don't think, like I said, anybody's pick with Adams is like one to question. I just was only saying why I didn't, pick him. And, I want to say Jefferson's only bad game was last week, all season.
I mean, it's hard to narrow down to 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have, that's why we wanted to do it. Just 3, because you start, and then, that's why you start having 1A, 1B. No. 3, just 3. So you got to pick one.
Okay.
You gotta have a favorite kid. You can't love them all the same.
So that's what we're doing next week. Top 3 corners. So get the research together, get it together.
I need 2 weeks for that. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Next week's good. Next week.
Okay. And what we'll do is obviously we'll adjust the get them out the ways so we can have that conversation. Before we go tonight, I just want to, wish everybody a safe holiday for the most part. It's so many disturbing things that keep going on in our world with mass shootings. And I'm not going to give cities or whatever, but part of the reason I bring it up is because originally I was just going to mention, the players out of Virginia losing their life in an unconscionable way. But, it's sports related to me. And I view sports as something that brings joy, even in losing, always teaches valuable lessons and compassion. And so for me, it really kind of touched me that the whole incident happened without having to know anybody. And it touched me more because these were young people trying to, pursue dreams, basically, education wise and recreational. And then today. And so I really do try to live moment to moment. There are some pre-planned moments, but I'm really one of those people that really try to get the best out of everything and try to get it all. And so if you haven't been doing that, just find one thing that gives you that peace and repeat it, because we just don't know. We don't know driving, we don't know going to the grocery store, we don't know just ailments. We don't know. And so if there is something that you are putting off, I would say put it on. Be thankful you have an opportunity to do it, and freaking do it. And do it well. And well doesn't mean perfect, or it means pursuing it with your best energy. That's it. And if you do that, I promise you, your days will be lighter. Didn't say they'd all be good. Didn't say anything bad wouldn't happen, but they will be lighter, because even in the bad days, there's a smile. There's an inner recall for a good moment. So you got to produce those good moments. And so I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that, because this show is one of my good moments. I look forward to getting with the guys and chatting it up and enjoying it, and camaraderie and silliness and the back and forth. And, me bringing it down, I get up and then I get down. I'm going to get on Brandon later, but I just wanted you to know that, because I think people always say, oh man, I live vicariously through you. You ain't got to live through me. You can live right next to me. You just do you, because and just enjoy what you do. Because I thoroughly enjoy what I do, because what I do don't have to be what you do. That's the beauty of it. The beauty. Yep. And so, Brandon, I thank you for taking time away from your family tonight to be with your other little family. We appreciate it. Safe travels when you do make it back. Enjoy that time. I wish everybody good, healthy traveling games for the playoffs in Texas. I just need Tom Ball to lose. That's it. And other than that, it don't really matter. Because that's all that matters at this point. Shout out to my other little cousin who's on the DeSoto football team as well. He is the corner on the team. He just committed to UNT
Come on,
yesterday.
say the kid name. Say his name. Say his name. Come on now.
Oh,
Come on now. He's not just little cousin. You want to put my? You want to put my? I said you
No,
want to just say his name. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I'm just saying.
Mathis. You can check it out. It's twins, but he the only one that committed yesterday. So that was kind of why I'm trying to leave it there. But I got
you. I try to put them out there, man. We gotta lift these kids up, man. We gotta lift them up.
You know what? You're right. But I can't remember. Are they 18? I'm protective about other people's children.
But they family. They your family though.
They family, but usually I just post them in my little world. You know what I'm saying? But Cayman put it out there. It's okay. It's on Twitter. So I guess I can say it. It's Cayman Mathis. And so I'm just excited because I feel like now I get to go to those games too. Oh, see, things just be opening up. So anyway, I hope y'all eat great tomorrow. Don't post ugly food and struggle plates.
No group text. No group text. No group text.
No group text.
Oh my God.
No group. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's
not
do that. Don't get on. I already said it for you, so you ain't got to get on the soapbox. So
I won't.
You go down another rabbit hole.
No, it's people still blocked from last year who did it and tried to tell me just let it go for today. I let you go. So just know you're not in my phone. You are not in my phone. See, look, his cousin giving him a shout out in the comments. She said, "Came in." So even though I ain't tell, she was gonna tell anyway. And if you're volunteering, thank you for your time and your energy that you put toward people. And so, and shout out to the World Cup. I have been getting up the last couple of days at 4 a.m. watching the 4 a.m. matches. Don't ask me why. I'm up at 4 a.m. because I'm already up at 4 a.m. anyway. I've really been up at like 1:32. But here nor there. So 2 things, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Japan won today, and it was an excellent match. If you can catch that one, and if you're not into soccer, I'm sorry. I'm into the World Cup. I can't say that I watch soccer all the time, but I definitely always watch the World Cup. And you learn so much about the countries. I feel like the World Cup is more family and engaging than the Olympics because there's so much going on at one time with the Olympics. But with the World Cup, you get to take in each match and gravitate to the team.
It's almost bigger than the Olympics.
Well, it is.
In that world.
It's bigger in a smaller sense, meaning you get to focus more when it's time. And so what was so incredible about Japan's win today is that you could tell they studied and prepared. I loved watching Argentina play. Spain, I just been having a good time. And
shout out to that goalkeeper that stopped that penalty kick. Man, that was crazy.
That was Mexico, right?
Mexico. Yeah. But I mean, if you had saw Japan today, he literally stopped 3 attempts back to back. I mean, they was wearing him out, and he stayed strong. And I shout out to my cousin. She's from Japan, so she definitely was thrilled today. And then shout out to Saudi Arabia. I mean, they came in this sucker hot. Look, they win was so significant, the country declared it a national holiday the very next day. Now, that's what you call moving with sport. And with that, Coach Pat, tell the people where they can find you when you want to have an entanglement.
By the way, I don't have any entanglements anyway. We're gonna go, Coach. Hit me up at Coach B Pat on Instagram and Twitter. There's a little code. That's why I'm kind of stuttering a little bit. But
on them lies.
Go Huskers.
Oh, he told us. All right, D Jones.
You can find your boy on Instagram at DJones9804, on Twitter, that boy D Jones. Peace and blessings to you and your families. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, you know where to find me. It's your girl, the Gransberry. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm always there. You also can follow my motivational good times and affirmations and laughs at the Good Day Only crew. We want you to be in with us because it's so relaxing. And I really, really appreciate you guys on Thanksgiving Eve for joining us. I hope you have an amazing tomorrow. And if tomorrow is tough for you, know that Friday is coming. Focus on Friday if that's what's better for you. And I understand that. If you don't celebrate this holiday, I understand that too. And for us, we just want to wish you an awesome, awesome, awesome good night. Peace.